What's going on, everybody? This is Dave from This Is Punk Promotions. I'm here with Scott from Out of Order from Montreal, Canada. How's it going, Scott?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good, thank you. Let's
Good.
dive right into it.
Awesome.
When and how did you guys form?
How do we form? It's been a long time ago. 2001, we started. When I was in Halifax, Nova Scotia, some friends and I were hanging out at the squat house. We got high on mushrooms one night, and we decided to all go down and jam. And my friends, I had a brother and sister. They had a little jam spot in their parents' attic. I was about like 19 or something like that, 20. So we started jamming, and it was fun. And then we went back to it like about a year later, and then kind of just coalesced from there.
Cool. So you guys released a new album in November, Life Sentence. How's the response been?
Really good, actually. Really good. I just got my first negative review today, actually, so I'm kind of stoked about it.
That's how you know you're doing it right.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, it's been really good. It's been really hard during the pandemic to release new music. We had a fucking nightmare trying to get this album out before the pandemic. We've across the board, it's been just like great response from everybody. Like I'm almost sold out of copies, so it's really good.
So who do you guys record it with, and how's the process?
Do you really want to hear this?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, the album itself started getting recorded when we were over in England in 2017. And we were doing kind of like pre-production and whatnot. So originally we went to a studio who was a friend of mine, I think in 2019. He was a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in a while. But he was, he owns a studio, he lives there, all that sort of stuff. So we showed up, and I hadn't realized that in about the year that passed since I hadn't seen him last, he'd become a crack addict. So we showed up at the studio, and all this beautiful microphone, all these like this beautiful studio was a crack den. It was like there was like broken wires hanging from the ceiling, So we tried, the guy was still a musical genius. We tried to make it work for as long as we could. And finally we had to give up on that because we knew he was just trying to milk us like, oh, $20 here, $20 there, after we'd already given him the money up front, So we left that studio with nothing. So we had to end up having to record it by ourselves, and we did the drums at a place called Studio Sophronic here in Montreal. And it was just a process. Like we basically recorded this album 5 times, including the pre-prods and whatnot. So it was tough. It was tough. There's other stories too that
So you're from Montreal. How's the scene there? Do you have a favorite venue, a favorite local band?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, Montreal's the scene, man. I'm sure you're close to Philly. There's a lot of great scene down there too. Montreal's the same way. There's a big crowds that show up. It's kind of cliquey because there's so many people that are into the scene. Like you'll play a show and there'll be like 3 different shows that very same night. So there's a lot of great bands too. I mean, there's come to Montreal, Vulgar Deli. It's a really good kind of thrash punk rock band that we play with from time to time. There's a band called Tail Gunner, which I really love. I actually did backup vocals on their last album. There's a band called Gut Rot that we play with from time to time. There's a good scene here.
That's awesome. So who are your biggest influences?
I mean, I grew up. I love that early UK '82 like crossover punk rock and away music. You know, One Way System, the Blitz, even a little bit of GBH. You know, the UK subs, uh, all that stuff that came out of England in the early '80s. I fucking eat up. I love it. Yeah.
Sweet. So I'm gonna ask you some non-music questions now. It's a good way for me to get to know you. I did this with the other bands. Are you ready?
Sure. Shoot.
All right. First one. Favorite holiday.
Favorite holiday
Yep.
that I've been on personally, or just in my dream holiday?
You're the one that you've been on.
Uh, well, I've only ever like kind of gone to a resort twice in my life. And about 10 years ago, I was working in a homeless shelter and I really needed to get the fuck away. And me and my buddy Joey decided to like last minute get a trip to Cuba. And we just got fucking pounded drunk for 7 days. And it seemed like we were gone for a year. When I got back out, by the time I left there, Joey's eyes, like his pupils kind of went from round to like hourglass pupils, you know. He looked like a goat by the end of it. So yeah, I would say that would kind of be my favorite one. A lot of stories.
That's funny. Would you rather be able to talk with animals or speak all foreign languages?
Oh shit. Oh, that's a hard one. I don't know. I'm gonna have to say foreign languages. I like the people, you know.
All right. Would you rather be too hot or too cold?
Too cold. I'm in Canada.
If you could be any superhero, what superhero would you be?
Uh, Somebody that gets invisible. You know, like I would go invisible and rob everything that you know what I mean. Like no corner store would be off limits. I would eat all the food. Yeah, invisibility.
Um, if you were stranded on a desert island, what three items would you want to have with you?
Oh shit. Well, I gotta bring my trusty leather mate. You know, you never know when a leather mate could come in handy. You got a knife, you got pliers, whatever the fuck. I gotta bring my record player. Yeah, I gotta bring my record player, my leather mate, and maybe I got this fucking. I just got a powered blanket, like a heated blanket. I love that fucking.
You're the best.
Bring that with me. Yeah, man, changed my life. Changed my life.
And the greatest inventions of all time.
Holy shit! I had no idea. Had no idea.
Last one. What are some places in Montreal that people should check out?
Oh, there's a lot of good shit going on here. Right now, I mean, it's hard to say because with COVID, everything a lot of shit's been shut down. There's a bar called Barfly that we love to play at, and we're friends with the owners. And there used to be a bar called the Catacombs that was a great place to play. Before that, there was a bar called the Crowbar. Most of these places are closing down though, so who knows what's going to happen in a year from now. I think there'll be some new things that pop up, and it's always on to the next thing. When something dies, something else takes its place. And I think that's how it happens.
Sweet, man. Well, thank you for coming on and chatting it up a little bit. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate you supporting me. And this is Punk Promotions.
No problem. I love it. I really thanks for having me and letting me speak my words.
I hope you have a great night. We'll talk soon.
Thank you very much. You too.
See ya.
Cheers.